the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
AFP, US, and Japan conclude 11th multilateral maritime cooperative activity in West Philippine Sea. 48 IB recovers IEDs in Butuan following rebel surrender. DA announces transport sector eligibility for 20 peso per kilo rice starting tomorrow. DOT resets launch of student beat cards.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Monday, September 15, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's story.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, United States Indo-Pacific Command, and Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force completed the 11th multilateral maritime cooperative activity in the West Philippine Sea from September 12 to 13, 2025. The exercise featured naval ships, aircraft and helicopters conducting anti-submarine, search and rescue, and cross-deck landing drills off Zambales. This marked the second MMCA in September, following the 10th iteration earlier in the month. The activity emphasized the three nations' commitment to maritime security, regional stability, and a rules-based international order.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 48th Infantry Battalion recovered several improvised explosive devices in Barangay Bugsukan, Butuan City following revelations from a surrendered Communist terrorist group member. Alias Julia, a former rebel, disclosed that CTG leaders forced them to stockpile explosives near civilian communities. Troops seized ammonium nitrate, blasting caps, detonating cords, and wires capable of causing mass casualties. The Army stressed that the discovery prevented possible attacks and reaffirmed its commitment in protecting Caraga residents from rebel threats.
Armed Forces Radio.
Now from NOLCOM, let's hear some information from Joanne about 203rd Cordilleran Reservists or 203 Cordilleran Reservists gear up for HADR Mozart training.
The 14th Regional Community Defense Group of the Reserve Command Philippine Army launched the Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Response Mountain Search and Rescue Training or HADR Mozart. The training, which was attended by 203 reservist personnel from 6 Ready Reserve Infantry battalions across the Cordillera region, aims to enhance the capabilities of reservists in responding to humanitarian challenges in remote areas. Chief of Operations Section of the Office of Civil Defense Cordillera Administrative Region, Mr. Frankie Cortez emphasized the importance of specialized skills in mountain search and rescue, given the region's challenging terrain which needs specialized skills and the disciplines that only training like this can provide. Meanwhile, 14th RCDG Group Commander Colonel Oscar B. Balignasay Jr. highlighted the broader goal of the training, which is not just to impart new skills but to enhance readiness, confidence, and commitment to duty, uplifting the capability and preparedness of the entire Ready Reserve Infantry of the 14th RCDG, making them more reliable and relevant force. The HADR Mozart underscored the 14th RCDG's commitment to strengthening disaster preparedness in the Cordillera region, ensuring that they remain ready to respond to humanitarian challenges even in the most remote areas of the region. This is Joanne Sagawk reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 802nd Infantry Brigade's troops seized multiple firearms and ammunition from New People's Army remnants during operations in Samar and Leyte. The 63rd Infantry Battalion recovered 2 high-powered firearms, an 4A3 rifle, M16, magazines, 158 rounds of 5.56 ammo, and a civilian backpack with intelligence after an encounter in Barangay Magtino, Lorente, Eastern Samar. Acting on tips from a former rebel, the 14th Infantry Battalion uncovered an armed cache in the Maplag Bontok hinterland containing M16, magazines, 39 rounds, subversive documents, and other items. 802nd Infantry Brigade Commander Brigadier General Noel Vestuir said the recoveries degrade SRC Sesame and IC Levox capabilities, thanked the committee supporters, and urged the remaining militants to lay down their arms.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Naval Air Wing deployed more 71 Flight Bravo in a send-off ceremony at Naval Base Heracleo Alano, Sangli Point, Cavite City. Commodore Emilio Rayo Jr. led the event, joined by squadron and group commanders. The unit carries the Scan Eagle UAV system to boost aerial surveillance. Its deployment aims to strengthen the Navy's maritime domain awareness and support the fleet operations.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Meljoy of First Year G about Mabalasik Battalion joins push for stronger labor rights and democratic freedom in Kalinga.
Yes, Rofh, the 103rd Infantry Battalion took part in the Capacity Building for Freedom and Association Seminar Workshop in Tabuk City, which was participated by the government agencies, civil society organizations, and the security sector that collectively discussed the importance of upholding freedom of association. The activity aimed to deepen understanding of democratic principles and promote collaboration between sectors that often find themselves on different sides of the conversation. Topics included labor rights, human rights protection, and the role of communities in sustaining peace and development. For local labor leaders and civil society members, the presence of the battalion emphasized a growing effort to bridge gaps and open dialogue. The seminar ended with a call for sustained cooperation among stakeholders in Kalinga, with the hope that building trust today will lead to more exclusive governance and lasting peace in the province. This is Meljoy Nashua Rocco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of First Year G.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines said it is ready to help the Department of Public Works and Highways inspect the alleged anomalous flood control projects once formally requested. AFP spokesperson Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla said that troops can assist with site inspections, provide security, and ensure the transparency. DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon earlier admitted the agency needs military and police support to check thousands of projects. The move coincides with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s order creating an independent commission for infrastructure to probe irregularities.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, workers in the transport sector will be eligible to purchase subsidized rice under the government's 20 peso per kilo rice program. This will start tomorrow, Tuesday, September 16. The Department of Agriculture announced that an initial 57,000 public transport workers can begin availing of the subsidized rice. Eligible drivers and operators will be allowed to purchase up to 10 kilos of rice per month.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Leonor about AFP closes Civilian HR Sports Fest 2025, PAF secures championship.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines concluded the Civilian Human Resource Sports Fest 2025, highlighting unity, resilience, and camaraderie among its civilian personnel. The Philippine Air Force bagged the overall championship, followed by GHQ, Combatant Commands, and AFP-wide service support units as first runner-up, the Army in third, and the Navy in fourth. AFP Acting Deputy Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Ray Alemania congratulated participants and emphasized the event's role in boosting wellness and morale. The AFP affirmed that the annual tradition strengthens its civilian workforce both and off the field. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
cards was reset from September 15 to September 20. The DOTR explained that system recalibration is needed to prevent glitches in the process, but they assured students that they would still enjoy a 50% discount on fares through single journey tickets. Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez said the move was in accordance with the order of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to make the program immediately available to students.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Jimboy about Philippine Army screens award-winning film on West Philippine Sea.
The Philippine Army launched a 3-day block screening of food delivery fresh from West Philippine Sea at Venice Grand Canal Mall in Taguig City. The documentary, which won Best Picture at the 2025 Doc Age Festival in New Zealand, highlight the bravery of Filipino soldier and fisher folk in defending the West Philippine Sea. Army Vice Commander Major General Efren Morados praised the filmmaker for inspiring nationalism and honoring troops' sacrifice. Nearly 3,000 soldiers and ROTC cadets are expected to watch the film until September 14. This is Jimboy reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Jimboy.
DWDD National News.
The Philippines has filed a diplomatic protest over China's plan to create a nature reserve in Bajo de Masinloc in the West Philippine Sea. The Department of Foreign Affairs filed a protest which is a strong, unequivocal, and formal articulation of the country's objections to the China action. DFA Assistant Secretary and spokesperson Angelica Escalona, Chinese State Council, earlier said that it will establish a national nature reserve in Huangyan Island, which is the Chinese name of Scarborough. Beijing said that the creation of the reserve was an important measure for maintaining the diversity, stability, and sustainability of the natural ecosystem of Huangyan Island.
DWDD National News.
The Department of the Interior and local government will investigate the trip of Manila Sangguniang Kabataan leaders to Bangkok, Thailand. In ordering a probe, Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla said he wants to know if government funds were used in the travel of the youth leaders. The 3-day trip was exposed yesterday after SK Federation President Councilor Juliana Ibay posted on Facebook photographs of their travel and visits to tourism sites in Thailand. The SK Federation of Manila defended the trip, saying in a statement yesterday that it was held in partnership with St. Robert's International College in Thailand.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of Marian about AFP Honor Citizen Soldiers at 46th National Reservist Week culmination.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines closed the 46th National Reservist Week with a ceremony celebrating the service and sacrifices of citizen soldiers. Defense Undersecretary Ireneo Espino, AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., and key officials led the event, which recognized outstanding reservists and units. Demonstrations of disaster response and wargaming showcased the reserve forces' skills and readiness. General Browner highlighted the vital role of reservists in national security, unity, and nation building. This is Marian reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Marian.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the Department of Public Works and Highways will try to recover the bonds, warranties, and performance securities posted by earring contractors so that public funds are not wasted on ghost flood control projects. Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon said that the move is part of the DPWH's efforts to ensure that earring contractors will not only go to jail, but also return the billions of pesos they stole from the taxpayers. Dizon said flood control projects awarded in a public bidding have a 5-year warranty. As determined by the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines, The usual band is 15% of the contract amount for performance and 15% for the payment bond.
DWDD National News.
Senator Panfilo Lacson believes a fresh generation of civil servants is needed to clean up the Department of Public Works and Highways. He said DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon could tap the private sector for civil engineers who will bring with them a culture of accountability. Lacson said Dizon may start hiring licensed civil engineers from the private sector, still untainted by corruption and trained by corporate best practices, then create a new generation of professional civil servants. DPWH Secretary has ordered the courtesy resignation of all DPWH officials after he took over the department.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, it is more from Gina about LIB Tacloban strengthens ties with 14th IB to support amnesty program.
Yes, Rofh, Local Amnesty Board Tacloban visited 14th Infantry Battalion in Mahaplag, Leyte. The courtesy call aimed to boost coordination in implementing the government's amnesty program for former rebels. Both parties stressed the Army's key role in ensuring the safe and effective facilitation of applicants. The partnership highlights the whole-of-nation effort to promote peace, reconciliation, and reintegration in Eastern Visayas. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the Civil Service Commission has launched the Philippine Civil Service Modernization Project. This is mainly designed to use digital tools and platforms to streamline and automate human resource management. The 3.88 billion peso project is composed of 3.755 billion pesos from loan proceeds and 123.56 million pesos from the national budget will run from 2025 to 2029. This would mark a milestone reform initiative that would drive the digital transformation of the bureaucracy.
DWDD National News.
Tensions are slowly mounting in Mindanao as the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao prepares for its first parliamentary elections in October. They said that political rivalries within the Moro Islamic Liberation Front combined with the resurgence of violent extremist network could destabilize the region and lead to renewed armed conflict. In a statement, the advocacy group Climate Conflict Action said it has observed storm signals of instability that threaten to undermine the Bangsamoro transition. It then pointed to the growing demand for illegal firearms, extremist recruitment among youth in Lanao del Sur and Lanao del Norte, and the re-emergence of extremist cells in Basilan.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Spencer. Ex-NPA leaders wed in mass ceremony in Bukidnon.
Rofh, a former New People's Army couple, tied the knot during the kasalan ng bayan in Ampasugong, Bukidnon. Groom Joel Bernal Macarambon and bride Yurli Sinuntabanawan, who both served years in the insurgency before surrendering in June, vowed to start anew with their daughter. Their marriage highlighted the government's peace and reintegration efforts supported by the 8th Infantry Battalion and local leaders. 4ID Commander Major General Michael Anayron Jr. congratulated the couple, calling their union a triumph of peace over violence and a beacon of hope for others still in the armed struggle. This is Spencer, reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Spencer.
DWDD National News.
For our weather update, the low pressure area spotted off west of San Jose Occidental, Mindoro has a slim chance to become a tropical depression. But Pag-asa said it was expected to bring rain in some areas in the country, including Metro Manila. Weather specialist Daniel James Villamil said the weather disturbance would also be bringing cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over Ilocos Region, Cordillera Administrative Region, Central Luzon, Calabar Zone, Mimaropa, and Western Visayas. He warned that flash floods or landslides would be possible due to moderate to, at times, heavy rains in these areas.
Armed Forces Radio. Flash Report.
And for our breaking news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. named former Supreme Court Associate Justice Andres Reyes Jr. as the chairperson of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. The ICI is the body that will investigate anomalous flood control projects. Marcos announced this during a press conference at the Kalayaan Hall. Reyes became a trial judge in 1987, a Court of Appeals justice in 1999, presiding justice of the appellate court in 2010, and was appointed by President Rodrigo Duterte to the highest Philippine court in 2017.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
As that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.